Are we going into that cycle as we saw last week, up today, down tomorrow?
Yeah, thank you very much, Wole. Good evening. Pleasure being with you today. Just like you stated, the Nigerian equities market, after a whole week of bullish run, declined very slightly today, closing at about 21,357.22 points, recording a decline of about 0.18%. We saw some very high cap stocks like Nigerian breweries losing substantially. Nigerian breweries lost about 1 naira today. Coming to what you have said, that the market is assuming a bullish state, I would say that perhaps it's too early for us to come to a conclusion yet because the week has just started. Although, considering the state of the macroeconomy, that there is likely to be some macroeconomic squeeze within the week, considering the fact that DMO is likely to sell some bonds and the CBN may likely sell some treasury bills. And so we may see financial assets migrating away from equities to the fixed income market. But we never can tell because we also understand that within the week, FAC allocation may also hit the financial system. And so that may eventually lead to a counterbalancing, which will make the equities market to perhaps be stable within the week.
All right, of course, you made the point about the fixed income market weighing on the equity market recently. And today we saw that again with only 1.3 billion naira worth of trade. So very thin volumes as we've seen most of last week. But give us your thoughts on, within the context of these low trading volumes, maybe any major movements we're seeing perhaps amongst small cap companies?
Yes, indeed. The volume today of about 217 million units was actually driven principally by transactions on Transcorp. Transcorp recorded volume of about 119 million units today, and technically that stock has actually turned around today, gaining about 3 kobo. Another stock, small cap stock that also gained today, signifying a turnaround, was actually Japo Oil. It also gained 3 kobo. Looking at Transcorp is actually a salutary development, considering the fact that that stock fell very, very severely from about 7 naira at which it was listed to 50 kobo. But the dramatic turnaround has been very, very interesting, taking the stock from 50 kobo in a meteoric rise to over 1 naira 20-something kobo. And so eventually developed fatigue, which drove the stock price down. But it has recovered now, turned around, and today it actually gained about 3 kobo. Also on the gainers chart today, in fact, leading the gainers chart was Access Bank, which actually traded on full bid. It gained 30 kobo today. But although Access Bank is not a small cap stock, and so the action now is actually on small cap stock. But during their contribution to the entire capitalization of the market, they have not been able to act on the market. When a big stock like Nigerian breweries declined, it impacted materially on the market, thus dragging it down today by about 0.18%.
All right. We apologize for the poor audio quality on the link to the NSE. But a quick point, David, hopefully you can hear me. I wanted you to speak to the Transcorp move again. Clearly, as we've seen on that chart earlier, we've seen that the share price has come down dramatically, and it's now it moved up dramatically as well, and then started coming down again. Your thoughts on where this share price may settle?
The stock rising meteorically, and then speculators exiting by taking profits, signaling fatigue on the security. It eventually came down to a point where it turned around today. And so without any material price sensitive information being released for the security, it's not unlikely that it will stabilize at about 1 naira 20 kobo axis until perhaps when the second quarter report is released and other price sensitive information about the security are released to the market. I'm sure you will realize that Transcorp is a highly diversified company now after the misadventure in telecoms, in which the business was almost crippled by its acquisition of Nitel. The company has fully entrenched itself in the agricultural sector of the economy and also in the oil and
David,
gas
unfortunately,
sector.
I think I have to come in. Unfortunately, we can't really hear you very clearly, but thank you so much.